Good evening, ladies. Hello, hello. Hi, Dina. Hi, Maria.
Hello.
How are you, ladies, today?
Good, good.
Good. All is good. Alhamdulillah. Take it away, ladies. Who wants to start? Questions, questions. Wins, shares, concerns, hallelujah moments, insights. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Dina?
جامدين قوي.
Sometimes, sometimes I feel I'm gaining weight, and sometimes I'm losing weight. It's in between. I
Yeah.
mean, is that normal?
That is normal, right? Remember, especially because we are flooding the body with fruits and vegetables. If the body, even though it's been a couple months now, coming into this program, everybody was dehydrated on a cellular level, majorly dehydrated on a cellular level. So you're going to see that the body's going to hang on to this hydration because it's the healing hydration. It's the hydration that you weren't getting in any other way, shape, or form. All the vitamins, all the minerals, all the antioxidants. So it's normal that the body is going through fluctuations as it hangs on to healing properties and then lets go as it detoxes deeper and then it lets go. So that's totally normal. But I would also say at this point, we do have to start incorporating movement if you haven't. So if,
I have.
okay, then
I
that's,
started walking. I started
yeah,
walking a lot now,
okay, okay,
and it makes me feel better.
of course. Yeah. Um, if you can manage it, I know, those of you who are fasting, but even those of you who are fasting, just keep this as a general rule. If you can move after every single meal, a 10-minute walk after every single meal, um, and try to establish that as a habit. If not after every single meal, then at least after your major meal. Whether you need to lose weight or not. This is just one of those
Yeah,
really, really beneficial because our bodies were created for movement and created for a lot of movement. We've lost what do you call it? We went from being, creatures who do nothing but move all day, ancient man from 200,000 years ago. They were just moving all day long. Whether that was hunting or managing or taking care of, like throughout history, men and women constantly moving their bodies in putting effort into something, taking care of something, managing something, creating something, building something, always. And in the past, I don't know, less than 100 years, is we've become more and more and more and more sedentary, more sitting in an office, more sitting on a couch, so many machines that take over manual labor that we used to do ourselves, so that we are actually have gone from being creatures that move all day, maybe only actually resting at night, to the complete opposite of that. So our bodies, and then add to it, of course, the modern day eating and all the junk and the toxins and everything. So you want to remind yourself that you're not a sedentary creature. You're not a sedentary being. You're actually this moving constant. Our body needs constant movement. And the reason we also know that biologically speaking is because our lymphatic system, which is our body's garbage disposal system, and it's actually got more fluid in it than you have more lymphatic fluid than you do blood. It doesn't actually work optimally without movement, without you moving. And the only way that it can move, like basically pump itself around your body so it can eliminate, you have, this like sort of map and web of lymph nodes and lymphatic drainage, here you have your lymph nodes and here it's all over your body. And the only way that it works optimally, it can't sort of just pump its own fluids through your body. It can, but in order to function where it's really getting rid of the toxins and garbage in your body, it needs you to move. It needs you to walk. It needs you to walking is probably one of the easiest ones and the nat most natural movement. Jumping is another great one. Like you have a mini rebounder, then it really starts to do its job of flushing out toxins. But the more you sit, the more you're sedentary, the slower your lymphatic system, the slower the drainage in your body. So the slower then the detox process, the slower the healing. So we have proof. We have literally a system built into our body that we know doesn't function without movement and a lot of movement. So we're naturally built for this. We've just forgotten because we've just sort of veered off our natural path of how we're supposed to function and veered into one that is very unnatural, which is not moving. So getting yourself to move, especially if you're also looking at slower weight loss, there's no drainage potentially because your lymphatic system is slow. It's not being pumped properly. So even if the body and your organs and your liver are actually getting rid of toxins and maybe toxins are even being pulled out of your fat cells, where are they going? Is the lymphatic system able to then expel them from your body through sweat? That's one of the main things the lymphatic system does. Through sweating, through, going to the bathroom, pooping, peeing, all of those, or not. So movement, if at this point, the very beginning I said, till you get used to this way of eating, until you get over your detox symptoms, and when you get your energy back, then look at movement. By this time, everybody should be looking at movement if they're not already doing it regularly. And really, yeah, we'll work out, we'll go to the gym, we'll do that one workout at the gym, and then come home and sit the rest of the day. Also not going to cut it. So you want to, yes, do your workout, but then learn to incorporate smaller bouts of movement throughout the day.
Dana, hi, how are you?
Hi, Ned, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Alhamdulillah, fine. I just have a question because I've been so exhausted in Ramadan. My sleep is just terrible, mainly because of waking up for suhoor. And
Yeah,
I've been trying to find like the right balance. So I was waking up at 4 a.m. for suhoor and
yeah,
trying to sleep at 11, but not really getting to sleep before like 12.
yeah,
And then after suhoor, I like can't really get back to sleep. Um, and then I wake up again at maybe 9 or something, and I'm just so tired.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then I thought, okay, let me not do 4 a.m. Let me try to eat at, 11 p.m. and try to sleep through.
yeah,
And then I still end up waking up and thinking, okay, I'll just have, a juice or a smoothie because
yeah,
I'm hungry.
yeah.
Um, and I'm still exercising kind of more or less the same, which is maybe too much. But I mean, the thing is that so I can't like not have sahur because I need that energy.
Okay.
But then I'm also wondering, is it the types of food? Like for example, for sahur, sometimes I have a smoothie with avocado and like flaxseed. Like, is that too heavy? Is it better to have
Mm.
just fruits like a berry smoothie? Or is there another way I can adjust it
What
or
what
try to
else?
sleep much earlier?
What else is in the smoothie? Avocado and chia seeds and what else?
And frozen berries
Mm.
and spinach or lettuce or
Okay.
kale.
I would throw in a couple of bananas. Those are really great for
Oh, and I
energy.
do banana. Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And banana
Yeah,
also. Yeah.
bananas. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with the smoothie at all. It is the
Yeah.
sleep. Like if you're exercise, I mean you're able to exercise, right? So
Yeah.
so
That's
that
fine.
that tells me like if your body was really depleted, you wouldn't have been able to
Mm,
keep it up. You might have done it one day, second day, but you wouldn't have been able to keep it up. And and and
yeah.
and to your point that you even exercise more than like a lot, right? So if your
Hmm.
body was really exhausted, you feel exhausted, obviously there's a mental exhaustion there. So sometimes we need to
Hmm.
differentiate. There's definitely a mental exhaustion because your brain is not getting enough time to sleep and
Mm.
regenerate and
Wind down.
wind down. Okay, so for sure, mental exhaustion is real. But as long as you are feeling you're able to keep up with all your regular daily activities that you would do on a regular day when you're not fasting, then you know
Mm-hmm.
that you're fulfilling your nutritional requirements, your body's still getting the fuel that it needs. And naturally,
Mm-hmm.
your sleep is disrupted. So it's not like there's a mystery here, right?
Yeah, okay.
There's an obvious correlation.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I think,
Yeah.
just one of those things about Ramadan. It's just one
Mm-hmm.
of those things we just have to sort of suck up and just power through.
Mm.
It is what it is. As long
Yeah.
as nothing else is being affected, and you know that it's just obviously the sleep is not there. And we know that sleep is important.
Mm.
But it's only a month. It's temporary, right? And as soon as it's over, your body will readjust back very quickly and come back from that. So I wouldn't worry too much about this. And there's nothing, I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with the smoothie. There's nothing that I would do differently. Maybe,
Mm.
are you taking magnesium or any
Yes, I am.
supplements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What time
I
are you
am
taking
taking.
your magnesium?
Um, Kind of like 9 p.m.
Okay. All right. That's fine then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no like magic sleep formula, like sleep at this time, eat at this time.
I mean,
It's hard to
what I
figure it out.
usually do is if I don't have to wake my kids up or my husband or anybody, I would just have my
Okay.
suhoor by midnight and sleep. And
Yeah.
that's it. But if there's family members and if they need you, like
Yes. Yeah.
there's all these different sort of pieces you have to juggle during Ramadan. So
Right.
it sounds to me like being able to exercise is a big indicator that you're doing something right. So
Okay.
don't sweat the small stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? You're welcome. Hi, ladies who just joined us. Hi, Ham. Hi, Samar. Questions, ladies. Today's a Q&A session only.
Hi, Dana.
Hi,
I
Dana.
have a question.
Please.
I think that having a piece of because I'm not doing the clean detox, I'm having a piece of protein with the iftar,
Okay.
but I'm my eczema is coming back very harsh,
Mm.
so I think maybe I should stop it.
Have you added anything else?
No,
Anything?
nothing.
Even
No,
once? No desserts at all since Ramadan started? Nothing.
no, just um, dates. This is
Okay.
my
No,
dessert.
no. I'm saying like
Nothing,
any
nothing, nothing,
nothing.
nothing,
Nothing at all. And
nothing.
how long had you kept protein out?
I've kept protein out. Remember when we did the 10 days clean detox?
Yeah,
That's it.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So,
I didn't keep it since Ramadan. I'm keeping it in
yeah.
because I feel maybe I'm just too worried.
When you say animal protein, like chicken or fish or red meat, which one?
Each day I take something different, because I go to different iftars every day.
Right.
I'm invited. I
Mm,
take my vegetables with me,
mm.
and I take a piece of protein, anything, whatever is available.
And how is it usually made? Do you know?
I have no idea. I just take a
Mm,
small piece.
okay. So
And
this
maybe
could
it's
be,
the oils or
yeah,
something they are
yeah,
using.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go that if it's not something you've made yourself at home, there's two things
Ah,
that could be triggering this. It could be if you're not, if the animal protein, and we know in Egypt it's not 100% organic or hormone free,
yeah,
right?
but I'm not in Egypt. I'm in Dubai now.
Okay.
So maybe it's the same also.
Unless you are intentionally buying animal
Yeah,
proteins and you know
yeah,
that you're
yeah.
getting hormone free, then it's not. Okay.
Mm,
So
mm.
what your body could be reacting to is the hormones in the animal protein, the antibiotics in the animal protein, what
Okay.
the animal was eating. Okay, that's one thing. And then of course, if you're not the one who made it yourself at home, you know exactly the marination, the ingredients, the
Yes.
spices, then there's a very high chance that it's got potentially made with the seed oils. Maybe it's being spiced with spices that contain MSG. Maybe it's
Yeah.
even got traces of gluten that you don't know about. Dairy. A lot of people marinate animal protein in yogurt, for example.
Yeah.
Right? And you might not know
Yeah.
it to be light, and you wouldn't notice it if it's just grilled. So potentially it could be any one of those things that's triggering the eczema.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So maybe I'll just cook my own protein or just go vegetarian and see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. And you haven't added
Okay.
anything in terms of products for your body, for your face, shampoo, nothing different.
No, I use the normal shampoo to tell you the truth, but my normal shampoo, I didn't get something clean shampoos. To tell you
Okay,
the truth, I'm using my normal shampoo.
okay.
But face products, no, I don't use anything
Okay.
not natural.
Okay. So let's also consider that because it could be your body is, detoxed and cleans it and cleanse itself out and now, but there is still they're called endocrine disruptors, the ingredient.
Oh,
So that could be
yes.
now that your body maybe has cleared out one layer of food toxins and now it's going deeper and it's clearing out chemical toxins.
Mm,
So we just want to make sure that we've eliminated any potential trigger.
okay.
All right.
Okay, I will take care of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Maria, then what is a good substitute for rice, brown rice, and for pasta? Buckwheat pasta, or is it better to eliminate them all for even? So these are things that, again, on the acidic side. So they would, even if you find a substitute, it wouldn't be something you would eat on a regular basis. So pasta is a gluten product. Okay, rice never contains gluten. So it always has a slight advantage over pasta because it doesn't have the problematic ingredient which is gluten. So I would say if let's say if your option is to eat regular pasta or brown rice, choose brown rice. If your option is regular pasta or buckwheat pasta, then choose the buckwheat pasta. So there is no direct substitute for rice because rice doesn't contain gluten. We don't need to find something gluten-free. It's innately gluten-free. Pasta is full of gluten, so when and if you want to have it, you do want to find a gluten-free version. Buckwheat pasta is a good gluten-free option. Also, if you find something made with brown rice flour, so there is pasta made with brown rice flour or made with um, lentil flour, made with what are the other flours? Sometimes mixes of like almond flour, brown rice flour, millet is another one. But again, these would not be staples. So you wouldn't say, oh, okay, now that I found a gluten-free one, let me have it every day. It wouldn't be every day. All right. And you would also have to be very conscious of quantity and servings still. If and when we go out for a fitad and we take a small piece of dessert or an item from the no list, is it the quantity that matters, or just a small quantity is the same as a full portion in terms of effect? It depends. I mean, obviously, the more of something you eat, the more it's going to have an effect, for 100%. But for some people, even a small piece the next day you can wake up with diarrhea, with a pimple, with constipation. If you have a skin issue like eczema, it can flare up. So for some people, the small can be just as bad as the big, and you have to test it. Um, Dina, I missed why we shouldn't eat rice. So rice, beans, legumes, nuts, lentils, fool, all of these um, fall under the more acidic side of the spectrum. We're trying to eat more alkaline. So the more acidic foods you eat, the more you create an acidic internal terrain, which is more prone to disease. So disease can't get hold in an alkaline terrain. Brown rice, all the different types of rice, gluten, all the grains, beans, legumes, nuts, food, lentils, all of these are acidic. So it's not that you can't eat them, it's that you have to sort of look at your overall intake of food during the day, during the week, and you want to make sure that 90% of it, 95% of it is alkaline, which is fruits and vegetables, and only a little bit of it comes from the acidic side. So you have to sort of do your own calculation around that. Riham, I have been reading about dopamine deficiency, but I know that workout enhances dopamine, but any food item that does that too. So with food, what happens is you can be eating food that depletes your body of all of your happy hormones. And the reason that happens is your happy hormones are mostly, for the most part, produced in the gut and your digestive system. So when you're eating lots and lots of the inflammatory foods, the list we have of inflammatory foods, your digestive system gets compromised. It's basically your happy hormone factory. So part of the side effects of your digestive system becoming compromised is that it can't produce enough happy hormones. So it's not that there's a specific food that necessarily will produce the happy hormones, but removing the foods that hinder the process of the happy hormones is the start to do that. And this is what we're doing. This is why a lot of people will start to just feel better when they've removed all of these foods because they've allowed their happy hormone factory, their digestive system, to start producing more of these hormones. And I probably, if I were to say any food is going to do that, it would have to be fruits. Fruits, because different foods have different vibrations also. I don't know if I talked to you guys about this, but different foods have different vibrations, right? And raw food has the highest energetic vibration because we haven't interfered with it on any level. So an apple, the berries, the celery, the cucumber, raw, because of that hydration I talked about, that's full of it's all live vitamins, live minerals, live antioxidants, live enzymes. Cooked food doesn't have that. As soon as you cook it, you've killed off some of that energy. So and cooked food has obviously a lower vibrational energy. Dead food has zero vibrational energy, and then you also cook it, and then it's like literally there's no energetic output that it can give you. So if we're just looking at energetic vibration, then fruits and vegetables are going to have the highest ones. Dina, why no legumes with animal protein? Because of digestion times. So, animal protein takes the longest time to digest. It requires the most energy from the body to digest. So, you want to mix it with other foods that require the least energy or potentially the least digestive times and don't contain any sugars. So this is why eating animal protein with vegetables is the best mix. As soon as you mix them with legumes, legumes are full of sugar. They have different digestive times. They require different enzymes. So what's going to happen is they're all going to get stuck in your digestive system. Same if you mix animal protein with fruits. Fruits only require 30 minutes to go through the system. They're sugars, they require different enzymes than animal protein, so you confuse your digestive system. It slows down. That's how you end up with bloating. That's how you end up with constipation. That's how you end up with low energy, with headaches, is because of that overload on the digestive process. You're welcome, Riham. And are oats gluten? Oats are like rice inherently gluten free. So they don't have gluten as part of their makeup. But oats are a grain, so definitely on the acidic side, definitely zero nutrients there. But the reason you might find them labeled as gluten free is because most of oats or, oatmeal or anything, any packaged oats that you buy, many times they might be processed in a factory or a facility that processes other items that are full of gluten, and sometimes there's a cross-contamination. So they need to label them as gluten-free so that you know that there hasn't been a cross-contamination, that they're safer. if it's not labeled as gluten-free, then it can carry traces of gluten, but it doesn't have gluten in it, like wheat, for example. Yasmin, sorry to ask about the combining theory and the time required after meals with different type of food. So this is if you ever need, like, if you forget, any of you, I need to refer back to this. It is in your guide, so you can go and look at that. It's also in the Ramadan guide again, so in case you need to go back and just make sure. But generally, when we're looking at food combining and time, the biggest one I would say to worry about, like don't fret about like, oh, there could be literally tens of different combinations we should avoid. I don't avoid any of them. The main one that I avoid is mixing animal protein with fruits and or starchy vegetables like potatoes or sweet potatoes or carrots. These are the biggest ones you want to avoid. So if you're eating fatar, let's say, or any meal that has animal protein, you need to wait at least 3 or 4 hours before you have a fruit, because it takes the body minimum 3 or 4 hours to push the animal protein through. So once that's done, you can have an apple, you can have a fruit, you can have any dates, and the protein is on its way out, so the fruit will not get stuck with it. If you eat the protein and right after you're done with a protein meal, you consume a fruit, then the fruit goes directly into your digestive system with the animal protein as your system is digesting it. And because fruits only require 30 minutes, and because they require different enzymes, they get stuck with the animal protein. Instead of being pushed out in 30 minutes, they get stuck for the 3 or 4 hours with the animal protein. And this creates fermentation, slows down the system, causes headaches, low energy, and constipation. So I would say this is the biggest one to focus on, is animal protein and fruits. Keep 3 or 4 hours between them. And as well, if you want to eat animal protein with potatoes or things like that, again, because they contain sugar, they're starchy, you might find the same issue. So focus on having animal protein always with vegetables. It's the safest combination with vegetables and animal protein is the easiest and safest combination. And all this is in both of the guides, the original detox guide that you got at the beginning of the program, and also in the Ramadan detox guide. Same with rice. Same with rice. Rice is a grain, so you don't want to mix rice with animal protein either. Mix it with vegetables, that's okay. Mix it with fruits, that's okay, but do not mix it with animal protein. Same with nuts. Yep. Nuts, rice, other beans, other legumes, same thing with animal protein. Rehan, does the time of digestion of the animal protein differ based on type? Not significantly, Rehan, not significantly. Fish might take a little less effort. It's easier to break down, but generally animal protein requires 3 to 4 hours. Red meat, out of again, we're looking at, like, how much energy the body requires to break food down. Red meat requires and takes from the body the most energy to break down. Any red meat, followed by chicken and fish, followed by, rice, any grains. The foods that take the least energy, actually, they require no energy for the body to break down, and also give the body energy, are fruits and vegetables. So nuts, not so bad with nuts. You mean eating different types of nuts together, Hind?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I mean the fruits.
Yeah, nuts and fruits is okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yasmin, what to do help if I mix protein with these foods? Lemon water. So if it does happen, you want to also see, like, some people might have stronger digestive systems where their system can actually power through that. So experiment and see. Do you actually feel bloating within the 3 hours after that happens? Do you feel the fatigue? Do you wake up the next day with constipation or not? If you do, I would say definitely lemon water for sure. And I would say that night, I would also do castor oil on your whole abdominal area before you go to sleep. You can mix nuts and fruits, yes. Also, again, if it works, mix the nuts and the fruits and see what happens. For some of you, it might be perfectly fine. For some of you, no, it might bloat you. It might cause gases. It might cause constipation. So remember, these are all theories. They're not set in stone. And it really does depend, there's the concept of bio-individuality. Every single one of you has a different body. So experiment with it and see how your body responds. The body's always going to respond. Your body will always respond accurately to something that works and something that doesn't.
Dana, can I ask a question?
Of course.
You said that it's okay if we mix starchy vegetables or rice with fruits because they both contain sugar, right?
Technically, yes. Yes.
Okay. And can oats be mixed with fruits or not?
Yes. Also, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I eat a lot of no food, what's the best way to compensate? When that happens, right? We know what's going to happen. The next day, you don't need to worry about compensating. You need to then just focus to make sure that it doesn't trigger, because usually the inflammatory foods are highly addictive. So you want to be very conscious that they don't re-trigger your addictions, and sometimes they can re-trigger the addictions very fast. So become very attuned to how your body responds to these. Do you have, let's say at Fatar time, you decided to have pasta and you decided to have, what else? Pasta, rice, and then you decided to have kunafa and ataif, and you went all out, right? Lots of sugar. Do you wake up the next day and you want them again? That means that the re-trigger is very, very high for you. So this is one of the most important things. The one-off meal is not the problem. The problem is if this one-off meal you realize quickly brings back your sugar addictions. So in order to, that will be your first priority, is to make sure that you eliminate the next day sugar addiction quickly. And the easiest way to do that is to go straight back to your baseline. You've all created a baseline now, you know where it's at, and you might go above it, you might go below it every now and then. That's okay. Make sure you're always coming back to your baseline quickly. Don't let it drag out. The longer you go, going back to the addictive foods, the more challenging it will be for you to get back to your baseline.
Nana, I have another question.
One second hint. One-off meal doesn't trigger any and that, okay? So if you realize one meal, you wake up the next day with eczema, with a pimple, with rashes, with anything that is symptomatic for you, then right, my body can't even handle one meal. So it's something to think about for the next time. And then again, quickly get back to your baseline to lower the response and to lower your body's responding to this. Like we said, the body responds accurately. So you want to bring the body back to a healing response instead of an activated defense response. Go ahead, Hind.
Okay, and regarding the processed sugar, which I know is highly inflammatory and a big no-no, but in case someone decides to eat that, like a piece of dessert or whatever, what's the best way to eat it without symptoms flaring up? For instance, like, is it better? Some experts say that it's better to take the sugar right after a meal so that it doesn't spike your blood sugar? Um,
This
or
the
is it
spike for me, the spike in blood sugar is not going to be the problem if you have an immune response, right? So the
Mm,
problem is not that. The problem is the potential domino effect from this, right? If you're gonna go and have the dessert, just eat it, don't overthink it, and the next day go back to your baseline. That's it.
so I wouldn't think like if it's on an empty stomach or right after a meal, it doesn't really matter, right? Because it's already inflammatory.
It's already
Okay.
inflammatory. Yeah.
Okay. And regarding the dizziness, Dana, you said that it's a symptom of Epstein-Barr.
Yeah.
So is it necessarily this, or can I just, or could it be a lack of electrolytes because of the fasting but I'm like eating nothing but fruits and veggies and drinking my drinks and everything. So,
Then okay, well, here's the thing with Epstein-Barr. It if it's been in the body for a while, okay, and the only way to get rid of Epstein-Barr is through nutrition. There's no medicine for it. There's nothing you can take. It's the only way to flush it out of the body is to starve it out. And it thrives on animal protein, processed sugars, the entire no list. That's how it thrives, okay? When we start to eliminate these and we give it the foods it hates, which are fruits and vegetables, it starts to die off. But the die off doesn't happen immediately and it doesn't happen all in one shot. So it will sort of the first phase of this clearing out of this virus is that it starts to die off, and then because it lives in lots of different organs, it can live in your thyroid, it definitely lives in the liver, it can live in the reproductive system, it can live in your joints. So as it starts to die off, depending on where it's collecting, where it's already collected in the body, it will start to cluster and move out of the body. And when it moves out of the body, even if you have been eating just fruits and vegetables, and that's the reason it's moving out, at that point of flushing out, you are going to, first of all, if you go test it at that point, even though you've been starving it, you're going to find it very high because it's being flushed out and it's everywhere. And the symptoms related to Epstein-Barr will also increase at the time of it being flushed out of the body. So it could be now that, and dizziness is one of those symptoms. So if you're feeling all of a sudden dizziness right now, like it hasn't happened at all, and it wasn't a symptom you used to have before, then definitely one of the reasons can be Epstein-Barr being flushed out of the body, for sure. If this is something that you feel might be related to fasting, lack of sleep, potentially, right? Then track it and see.
and the same goes for the yeast infection. Speaking of symptoms, when you said once that we need to redefine the meaning of sickness
Yeah.
with cold and flu and phlegm coming out and all of that, same goes for the yeast discharge when it comes out from the vagina. It's a die-off reaction, right? It doesn't mean that it's festering in the body. It's actually dying off.
It's dying off,
Okay.
it's coming out. Yeah. That happens
Okay.
with yeast, that happens with Epstein, that happens with menstruation. So menstruation is, if you find when you're detoxing, all of a sudden it gets heavier, darker, before it starts to get lighter and a lighter, brighter color, that's also the uterus flushing out. So it can happen through mucus, through menstruation, through yeast infections. Dandruff could be a way, the coming out through the skin, right? Eczema is going to get worse before it gets better. Pimples are going to get worse before they get better. All of these are ways the body flushes out first. And the flushing can happen cyclically also.
Okay.
Maria, Dana, do you have any natural way to get rid of the forehead acne, any specific oil? Maria, didn't we talk about this last time? You're still too early using the oil method. Just wait. The oil cleansing method is the way to get rid of it. You just have to be patient with it. Yeah. Hismine, I'm experiencing severe hair loss after the program. Any advice? So hair loss is another way, shedding. It's called detox shedding. So the body's going to get rid of old, dead, tired hair. to make room for more healthy hair. But definitely along the way, what you want to make sure, things that can slow this process down, is a hair filter, is the right products for your hair. So make sure you're not using the products that contain the major ingredients that are listed in your detox guide. You want to make sure that, this is again why I always recommend magnesium. Hair loss could simply be magnesium deficiency. And then if you want to take it another step, then you can add in the natural hair oils, natural hair masks, etc. Dina, what about restless leg syndrome? I have been feeling it for the past couple of days. That's another symptom of Epstein-Barr, Dina. And Dina, given your thyroid issue and everything, then I want to say there's a very high chance you've got Epstein-Barr. And if you're feeling it, that means Epstein-Barr. We've also seen improvements in your other symptoms, so we know Epstein-Barr is being flushed from your body, and this is more proof that it is. More proof that you have it, and more proof that it's being flushed out. Yasmin, I noticed improvement in my fatigue, fibromyalgia, and I started to lose weight after years of resistance, but I still inflamed and large lymph nodes. It doesn't go ever, even after the water fasting. So you remember what I don't know if you're here for the beginning of the call, Yasmin, when I talked about the lymph. Your lymph system and your lymph nodes are your body's garbage disposal system. Okay? When we see the lymph nodes enlarged here or down near around your groin, okay, this is where the most concentration of lymph nodes is. It doesn't mean that it's not something to worry about. It simply means that, imagine your lymphatic system is like this, like like streams, like interconnected streams in your body with lymphatic fluid flowing through them. And this lymphatic fluid is taking whatever toxins are being flushed from your organs, and they're taking them to expel these toxins outside of your body. So when you see something enlarged, it's like a bottleneck. It's like the toxins just are not moving through the lymph nodes, they're not moving through the streams. It means the lymph is working, it's trying to flush them out, but it's stuck. And one of the main reasons for that is lack of movement. So I was saying at the beginning of this call, the lymphatic system is a crucial system to health and healing, but it requires you to move. It doesn't work optimally. The momentum that it needs to get the streams like flushing really quickly require you to move. So the more sedentary you are, if you spend most of your day sitting in a chair, sitting on a couch, and even if you go work out for 1 hour, that's not going to be enough to jumpstart the system, to get the water, the lymphatic fluids moving. So it's a good thing you're seeing this, because it means there's toxins moving through your lymphatic system. It's trying to flush out. It's trying to get it out of you. So help it. If you haven't started already, start walking every day. If you spend a lot of time sitting, stand. That's the easiest thing you can do. If you stand, if you work in an office, if you work at a desk, you're sitting all day long, stand instead of sit. Take breaks every half hour, go for a 10-minute walk. If you have a mini rebounder that you can get on and jump on it for just 10 minutes every couple of hours, the lymphatic system needs you to be in constant motion to work optimally. So that's the only issue that's happening there. And water fasting is not going to do it either, because if you're not moving in a water fast, it's almost irrelevant for the lymph. Lymph needs you to move. Samar, what can I use to calm the itching of the eczema? I would try coconut oil very lightly. Just test it first and see. Coconut oil, maybe a little bit of castor oil. See which one is the one that works for your skin, Samar.
Can I use Mibo maybe, Dana? Or Mibo is not good. It has chemicals.
Can you show me the list of ingredients in the group, please?
I don't have it now. I will send it to you. Okay.
Send it to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yasmin, yes, I know, but it hurts, so it's inflamed, not only blocked. Okay, so inflamed is not a bad thing. So inflamed is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm doing lymph drainage massage regularly and it helped. That will help, but lymphatic drainage massage works in the moment, doesn't have the longer lasting effects of regular movement. So see which one hurts the least. If it's just walking, slow walking is still going to be better than no walking at all. So even if you're at home, I don't know, what your daily routine looks like. You need to get up. If you're sitting, I would say get up every half an hour if you're sitting at home and do a 10-minute walk, even inside your house if you can't get up. If I would get a rebounder, if you're at home and you can't do anything else, get a mini trampoline and every hour jump on it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'm asking if this means I need more detox weeks because I stopped in Ramadan and I feel guilty. Oh, okay. So yes, the answer to that is 100%. So if you have completely stopped, then this is going to block the process that you have started. So you started your lymphatic system in this process of detoxification and elimination, and then you stopped it in Ramadan. So whatever was in the process of being moved out is now, it's like, think of it as like a coagulating. It got totally blocked. So 100%. If, the detox process is not temporary, ladies, it's not something we're doing for the duration of the program and then we're stopping. You're in a detox process for life because if you want to keep up the benefits, if you want to stay symptom free, if you've come off medications, you want to stay off medications, if the pendulum swing goes all the way back to how you were pre-program, then the lymphatic system is going to stall. Then your liver is going to get reburdened. You're going to basically retox. So at some level, we're always living the detox lifestyle. So if you have, and going off, remember I told you this at the beginning. It's a matter of when, not if, especially at the beginning of this journey. So if you found yourself, now it's happened to you, Yasmin, no guilt, it's part of the process, but the body's responding. It's showing you, right? Lymph nodes got blocked. You can tell that going back to how you used to eat is your body's responding and saying, this is not working. So 100% go back. Go back. Are you talking about the whole lymphatic system? I have localized submental. Yeah, this is it's showing up, but yeah, the entire lymphatic system is going to be backed up. The whole system is going to be backed up. Lymphatic system is not I hate that word, compartmentalized. I need to use it a lot and it never comes out right. It is all connected. So when there's a blockage in one part of it, then you know that the root is from another part of it. So what we're working on, the whole body is one big interconnected system. We're not just working on detoxing the liver separately. When you detox the liver, you detox your hormones, you detox your digestive system, you detox Epstein-Barr virus if you have it, you detox your reproductive system, you detox your thyroid, you detox your brain, you detox the lymphatic system, you detox the kidney. So you don't want to start to think that it's just one little thing that's malfunctioning. It's a systemic issue all over the body. It doesn't go during the detox to come back. What doesn't go? What you have, it means you didn't detox enough. It means you didn't detox enough. It means you just needed more time. Remember that detoxing doesn't have a timeline and healing doesn't have a timeline. If you haven't reached a result while you're detoxing, it simply means you haven't detoxed enough. And when we're looking at anything, the lymphatic system is involved in all healing. But if there's a specific issue, there's also on top of a condition you have, on top of symptoms you have, there's a lymphatic blockage, then it's about detoxing and movement that both need to happen. So if I stopped and restart after Ramadan, I wouldn't wait till after Ramadan. Get back on track tomorrow. Ramadan is still, today's only day 11. Do not wait till the end of Ramadan to get back on track. Mm-mm. The longer you detox, the more your body's going to get blocked, the more your liver will be overburdened, the more the symptoms are going to come back. Get back to your baseline tomorrow. Any other questions, ladies? Reminder that we only have 3 more sessions, Q&A sessions, and then our final session is a congratulatory session. So next Sunday, Tuesday, and then the Sunday after that are the last 3 Q&A sessions. So you need to go back. You need to rewatch sessions. You need to re-look at conversations on the group. You want to download or save any posts in the group. You have 2 weeks to do that. 3 weeks. 2 weeks or 3 weeks. This 2.5 weeks almost to do that. Okay. If you want to save anything, I recommend you use the search bar in the group. Put the key word that you're looking for. So for easy facilitation of the times that we discuss that topic, discuss that term or that concept or whatever it is, copy, paste, download anything you need because the group will close on March 26th. So the group shuts down. So anything or any information you need off of the group, please spend the next 2.5 weeks collecting all of that, whichever way you want to save it. I will give you the link to the YouTube playlist. So you'll always have access to the sessions. You should have it already so you can go back and rewatch. And then use this time to come in, ask me final questions, final concerns, issues, share your wins, share your healing process, healing stories. Because we're wrapping down, ladies, sadly but surely. So make sure that you don't miss out on these last few sessions if you need them, and to download what you need to from the group, rewatch sessions if you need to, so you can come back and ask questions. All right? Do we feel, Samar, go ahead.
Can I ask you if let's say we stopped finished the detox, for instance,
Yeah.
and then we want to continue this as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Would
You
it be
should.
okay?
Ideally, that's what you're
Yes.
doing, is you're creating a
Yes.
lifestyle. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You think it would be okay, like every 2, 3 weeks, to have something that you are craving?
You always want to ask yourself, always, is it an emotional craving or physical craving? Always, when that happens, be very clear on it. If it's a physical craving, then you want to know what physical craving means. There's some kind of a nutritional deficiency. So something that you need to be tweaking, something you're not eating or you're not eating enough is going to create a physical craving. If it's not a physical craving, then it's an emotional craving. And in both cases, you get to eat whatever you want to eat. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
to reach the phase of being mindful, right? You always want to understand why you're doing something. So if it's emotional, then understand what the emotional trigger is and make sure that if you decide to have it, then you're going to also work on the emotional trigger at the same time, because otherwise it's going to keep repeating the emotion.
Like for instance, if you want to have a sandwich, so you would crave some bread. Like, can we have like buckwheat bread, or that's still not okay?
No, the buckwheat obviously is not going to have the issues of the gluten, right? My main concern is when you say the word craving. Okay, we always want to
Yeah.
understand where a craving is.
Yeah.
And like I said at the beginning, if you know yourself and you know that you can just have it and wake up the next day as if you haven't had it, then no issues. And if
Yes.
you trigger
Yes.
any symptoms, no eczema, no nothing, then no issues. But if you know
Okay.
that you're going to have it and you know the next day you're going to wake up thinking about having it again, or you wake up the
Mm.
next day and you feel like something's off in your body, okay, then you have to reevaluate, like, how is this serving me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Thank you.
you're
Yes.
welcome.
And before you said that we are allowed long time ago, like some Parmesan cheese, is it allowed or not?
So everything is allowed, ladies. Everything is allowed, right? But what you're doing is optimizing your health. So does having a little bit of Parmesan cheese or a sandwich, how does it work for you? Does it work towards optimizing your health? Is it neutral? Or does it work towards bringing your health back? But cheese, dairy in general is not something you would eat on a regular basis. No.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Dina, we're almost finished with our 3-month detox. Yes, we started January 12th. So at the end, so we're like a week short, but end of March, March 26th, we're done. Yes. Yasmin, I went to iftars and stayed confused about what to eat, the no food, the combining theory, and I started to panic. So, what I would say to that, Yasmin, is, you know what the inflammatory foods are. So, I mean, flour, anything made with wheat, anything made with dairy, anything deep fried, I'm guessing at these iftars. So, like chicken pane, macarona bechamel, like those are the obvious big ones, right? I wouldn't worry too much about the food combining. So, the food combining is not going to be as detrimental to your process as the actual foods. So if you go to a fatar and you see there's grilled chicken and maybe there's roast potatoes or there's a sanayat, chicken with potatoes, then eat the chicken with potatoes, right? You know that the pasta or the macarona bechamel or the chicken pane or the sambusak, there's no confusion there. There's no confusion there. Even if everybody's eating them, doesn't mean that they're the right thing to eat. You know that, sambusak is wheat, it's dairy, it's deep fried in oil. Very straightforward, highly inflammatory food. You know that chicken pane is coated in flour, fried in oil, highly inflammatory food. You know that pasta is flour, dairy, blah, 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 and all the desserts, obviously, right? There's no confusion there. There might be a desire to eat them, right? But there's no confusion as to whether or not they are inflammatory. So I always recommend also that you are really, really, really picky about how many times you go out for fatar, who you go out to fitars and suhoors with. It's completely overdone and overblown in Ramadan. The amount of going out and gatherings and stuff, it truly, truly is. And as you're going through this healing journey, part of that is creating that boundary for yourself where you say no. My priority is a health. My health is my priority. And if that means I have to say no, then I will say no. If you've done, the ones that are important to you, the family ones, a close friend here or there, great. But it doesn't have to be this, and I know some people who I have the other group I'm running, I told you about with the alumni ladies. One of the ladies was telling me she has been invited out every single day since it started, Fatar and Suhoor. And she's like, I'm taking a break this next week. I'm just saying no. And you have to do that because no one's going to do that for you. So if you're finding yourself pulled into something and you're going and you're not finding the options and it's causing you to panic because if you're fasting and you're hungry and there's no options, obviously you're just going to eat whatever is there. Nobody's going to solve this for you. You're the only one who can take a stand for you, take a stand for your health and say, right, I need to stay home. I'm gonna make my own food. I'm gonna take care of myself. So it's not, I don't want you to think about when you're there, when it's sort of too late, right? Preempt it. If you know the hostess and you're able to ask about what's available there, preempt it. I don't know. Maybe if you're going to a family member and you can bring your own food, these are the sorts of things you have to start to get into the habit of if you're not going to just straight out apologize and say, I can't make it. Don't let the circumstances dictate how you end up behaving. You're the one that has to be in control, always, not the other way around. Dina, sorry, I must leave. No problem, Dina. Exactly. It's very hard. That's why I decided to stop and restart. No, I mean, obviously you get to do whatever you want, but if you want to stop for all of Ramadan and restart at the end of Ramadan, you've put in too much effort up until this point. And if the reasoning is because you don't want to put a boundary up around your health and not go to the outings, how does that serve you? And how is that you actually being in control? Stop deciding to stop going with the flow in Ramadan, just go letting other people's food habits and other people's agendas decide how you're going to go through Ramadan is not empowering for you. It's not the empowering decision. It's not the decision that puts you in control of your health. Take some time to think about this. Take some time to think about it. Some people might get upset that you say no. Some people might get offended that you say no. You might be upset. You might have a bit of, FOMO, fear of missing out, 100%. But weigh it out. Which one of those decisions serves you and empowers you, and which one does you a disservice and basically leaves you at the mercy of circumstance versus empowering you. Sama, do you have another question? Well, you just forgot to put your hand down.
Just forgot to put my
No problem. Hi, Yasmin. I am stressed and busy. My father is in the hospital and I have no time to take care of myself. That's always, always a difficult time. It is a very stressful and difficult time. Don't make it harder. Don't make it harder by leaving yourself to not make a decision about your health, by letting other people's meals and menus decide for you. Yeah. This is a tough one, Yasmin. I hear you. Of course, it's a tough one. But if that's the decision that you take, right? I mean, also there's two things now happening, right? Your father in the hospital is one thing, and Ramadan is another thing, right? So potentially, I hope not. Like I'm, we're all gonna hold space for your father to heal, but what if this is a long-term situation, right? Because there can be always be situations in our lives that are out of our control completely, have nothing to do with us, and yet we become a part of them and they become a part of our lives, and we have to navigate those situations. And then, God willing, your father's going to leave the hospital, he's going to be fine. It could be something else that pops up. So part of the empowering process is to teach yourself very slowly that regardless of the circumstances, because again, if you're continuously letting the circumstance decide for you, we all know that life is full of curveballs, full of circumstances. We can always use that excuse, which means we will never truly get a handle on our health. If every time something happens, we say, "Oh, well, there's this happening now, so I can't focus on me. Oh, well, now there's a new thing that came up. I can't focus on me." And then how can you, Yasmin, be there for your father, be there for anybody who needs you, if you yourself are not well? We always come full circle as women. We say, "Oh, we don't have time to take care of ourselves. We don't have time to cook for ourselves. I have my parents, I have my ailing parents, I have my kids, I have blah, 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 blah. I have all these things. So I have no time for myself." But the reality is, all these things that are very important to you, the people you love and the priorities in your life, how can you be there for them if you are not well enough and strong enough and energetic enough to be able to fulfill all of your duties towards them? Hey, I missed a lot of videos. Could I still watch after? Yes, the videos are available. I'll post the link again. There's a link to all the videos. Those will be available once the group is finished, once the program is finished. Yeah. I started to have a chocolate craving again. Well, remember what we say, the body responds. Chocolate is full of magnesium. Magnesium is the mineral that we look to. It's called the relaxation mineral. It's also called the master mineral. So when we're stressed, when we're tired, when we're not sleeping, when we're not eating the right foods, your body's going to crave the nutrients it's missing. And when you're stressed, a big nutrient deficiency that can create more stress, internal stress because of external stress is magnesium, and chocolate is full of magnesium. You might not know that, and the reason chocolate calms you down is not because of the chocolate, it's because of the magnesium. So I would say definitely one of the first things to do right now, if you haven't already, is to make sure you're taking a very good magnesium supplement. Your body is craving the properties of magnesium, the calming properties, balancing properties of magnesium. That's what it's actually craving, not the chocolate. I lost all the advices of magnesium supplement. What do you mean you lost? What does that mean, Yasmin? If you go in the group and search in the search bar and type in magnesium, you'll see all of the posts that I mentioned magnesium in or wrote about magnesium or recommended different types of magnesium supplements. You'll find it all in the group. In the go search magnesium. Yeah. Yeah, look in the group. You're welcome. All right, ladies. Let's wrap that up today. I'll post the link for the replays for those of you who might not have it or misplaced it. And you're welcome. And I will see you all on Sunday, inshallah. All right, same time, same place. Good night, ladies, or have a
Thank
great
you,
rest of
Dana.
your day, inshallah. All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Dana.
Yasmin, I'll post it in the
Thank
group,
you.
in the Facebook
Thank
group.
you, Dana.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. All right. Bye-bye.